And yet you're, as you said, providing jobs, and you get into these industries. So maybe we can talk about the varying activities, but can we start with real estate and talk about your views of real estate investment?
Well, it's really a business model. You know, everybody talks about the business. You know, I came and asked you about your business model, because every entrepreneur has a different business model. So the model I followed was McDonald's. You know, Ray Kroc. If you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, in there, my friend interviewed Ray Kroc. You know, he was in the MBA program at University of Texas, and Ray Kroc asked the MBA class, he said, "What business is McDonald's in?" And everybody says, "You're in hamburgers." And Ray laughed. He says, "No. McDonald's is in the real estate business." And so and there was a movie called Founder.
Yes.
With, I think, Keaton
Michael
started
Keaton.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in there, he spells it out. The only reason you create a business is to buy real estate. Now, people think, "Oh, you're a real estate guy." No, that's not true either. So my business, so I have Rich Dad, let's say, and I buy probably $500 million worth of real estate out of one company. And the reason I can do that is because real estate is really about debt and taxes, which they never teach you in school. So you understand, the more profits I make, let's say I make $1 million in Rich Dad, I can lever up, I can borrow $5 million to buy a piece of real estate. So I'm using debt to get richer. Most people use debt to get poor, but that takes financial education or literacy, whatever you want to call it. So I buy real estate, and because I have $5 million in real estate, I pay no taxes. So the real game is called debt and taxes. That's why if you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, the rich don't work for money. I don't have REITs, I don't have ETFs, I don't have mutual funds, I don't have stocks, because I'm an entrepreneur.
So how is it that debt, real estate debt, because a lot of people, you hear them, just prattling about debt is bad, never have debt, you don't want to get into debt,
Right.
et cetera. You're advocating it and for tax savings, I guess in part for tax savings. So how does that work?
I didn't say tax savings, I said don't pay taxes.
Oh, well, okay, so to eliminate taxes.
Big difference.
Yeah, okay. So
that drives people crazy.
Yeah.
How can you not pay taxes? Well, you have to understand tax law. Okay.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah, tax laws are not about not paying taxes. Tax law is incentives. So the government wants you to do certain things. For example, if you donate to a church, they'll give you a tax break. You donate your car to the Kidney Foundation, they give you a tax break, right? So if I buy real estate, give me a tax break. Lovely stuff, because I'm providing housing. If I invest in oil wells, I get a tax break because the government wants energy. If I invest in food production, I get a tax break. And when I borrow $5 million to buy a piece of property, I get a tax break because the government needs me to be in debt. You see, if there's no debt, the economy collapses. The reason, when they dropped the interest rates after that whole central bank, the Fed screw up, they had to drop the interest rate so guys like me would borrow. You know, if they didn't want me to borrow, they'd raise interest rates. So they want me to borrow. When I borrow money, I create money. See, money is only created as debt, bonds. As people don't understand, they don't teach this in school.
No.
So the more I borrow, the happier the government gets because I'm actually putting money into the economy. So I borrow, let's say, $5 million. I buy a $5 million piece of property. Then the tax law allows me to appreciate it, depreciate it, and amortize it. Zero taxes. I collect all the income from that property tax-free. That's the game.
Is there ever a day like in the future that comes home to roost, or is it something that you can perpetuate year over year over year?
Yeah. But you've got to be smart. They'll never teach you this in school. You know, I don't know her name, Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris and AOC, they're all saying, let's tax the rich. So if you're over $10 million income, they're going to tax you 70%. Let me wake people up here. You're making $10 million a year. You're not paying any taxes because you can hire the best tax accountants and tax attorneys that the money can buy. So they never tax the rich. They tax the stupid, the uneducated, the misinformed. And it's tragic, and that's why I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know, the rich don't pay taxes legally because the government wants us to do certain things. They're incentives. So when I buy an apartment house, I'm providing housing. I get full tax breaks. When I drill for oil, I don't buy Standard Oil or Chevron or Exxon. If I drill for oil, the day I drill for oil, I get a 70% tax break. The day I drill, day one. Now, does Exxon tell you that? No.